Well, made it. Finished the trip and just relaxing here for a minute. Been doing some stretching. Hopefully you can hear me over the wind. The wind is pretty strong here and you can hear it through the trees. But just finished and just looking at the stats, I did 16.8 miles total last night and this morning. So last night I got here, it was probably 8:30 or so when I actually hit the trail, and did about a mile and a half or so, and I haven't verified that yet, but about a mile and a half last night. And then this morning got up, hit the trail at about 8:17 I think it was, and it is now 3:45. I got back here about 15-20 minutes ago, been relaxing and stretching and finishing up, and just wanted to close out. And actually I'll probably put this at the beginning of the video, but just I needed to get away, needed to try to clear my head a little bit, think, pray, look for answers. Just going through a lot of stuff right now, and I didn't find answers, but everything else is good. Needed the trip, enjoyed it. You know, I don't get to solo hike. I think this is the first time I've ever actually done a true solo hike other than just day hike stuff. This was the most miles that I've done in a day. I did, must have been today, just over 15 miles, and it was mostly easy up until the last 2 miles. Those were tough. I managed to keep about a 3-mile-an-hour pace was my moving speed, so not too bad. Over about 2,800 feet total of ascent and about the same in descent. So good vigorous activity. You know, sometimes everything in life is hard, and life is filled with joy and sorrow and excitement and regret and loneliness and companionship and all the things that we have. And sometimes we get hard stuff that we have to deal with, and most of the time the hard stuff we can't control it. There's nothing we can do other than look to Christ, pray, seek wisdom, push through. And sometimes there are things that we can do in life that we can give ourselves the hard things. And backpacking is one of those things that I really enjoy, because it's one of those hard things that you don't know what you're capable of until you actually get out and do it. But it's something that all the other hard stuff in life is absolutely out of your control. Backpacking, you put yourself in it. This is that classic, what they call type 2 fun. You know, type 1 fun is riding a roller coaster or swimming in a lake. You know, the stuff that's just fun while you're doing it, and you just enjoy it and you're ready to do it again. Backpacking is one of those things that it's fun, I enjoy it, but you don't enjoy every minute of it while you're in it. You know, it's tough, it's hard, it's challenging. You go up hills and you're wondering, why did I put myself through this again? And nothing is greater than the feeling of when I poked out of the woods uphill and poked out and realized I had reached the road and I thought I had another half mile to go. And that was just such an exhilarating feeling. And, you know, it's one of those things that while you're in the middle of it, it's tough, it's hard, but at the end, you're ready to go back and do it again. And I enjoy it for that. You know, I know too many people that they're not willing to do stuff like this because they're afraid. Not sure what they can actually handle, what they can do. Afraid of failing, afraid that their equipment won't meet the challenge, or whatever. You know, there are so many things, but sometimes we've just got to set it all aside. You know, I had planned on just doing the north loop that's behind me, and I got that done by noon. And I thought, you know, I'm good. I could do another 8 miles if I had to today, but let's just pack up. Maybe it's time to go. And then I realized, you know what? There's a difference between knowing that I could do it and doing it. So I said, let's do it. And sometimes that's just what you have to do. And now that I've done it, I'm so glad I did, because you got to push through, do the hard things. Sometimes the hard things are enjoyable, not always in the moment, But at the end of it, looking back, we're thankful for the hard things, we're thankful for the hard times, and this is one of those hard times. I had planned on camping out here another night. At this point, I don't need to. I did what I needed to do, and it's good. It was restful, it's what I needed, and to my special people, we fight on, we press on, we get through the hard things, and we get to the joys on the other side. Press on, stay the fight, go do a hike, do something hard. You can do it. Doesn't matter what you've got or don't think you can do. Just go do something. Do something tough, fight through it, and we'll come out at the other end a better for it. Happy trails, y'all. Hey everybody, good morning from the Ouachita National Forest. It's a beautiful morning, couldn't ask for better weather. It feels like it's probably about 60, 65 right now, you know, just warm enough that I'm not freezing in a short sleeve shirt, but feel the breeze. Beautiful morning. The sun is just starting to peek up over the horizon and you can just barely see it. I don't even know if it's actually sunrise yet. It doesn't look like it, but it's really close if it's not. And just gorgeous out here in the pine forest. Set up camp late last night. There it is right there. I walked in probably about 10 o'clock, maybe just a little before 10. Set everything up. Had a really nice hike, enjoyed it. The trail leading up this way is incredibly rocky, but it wasn't too bad at all. No accidents, plenty of light. And there it is. I'm just kind of on the north side of the ridge of Winding Stair Mountain. This is the Horse Thief Springs Trail, is where I am right now. And so I haven't even checked GPS to see how far I actually walked last night. I'm not sure, but I'll find out this morning sometime. Plan today is I'm going to do about 10 to 12 miles today and camp out, and then in the morning maybe do a couple miles and then head on from here. But just wanted to get a couple quick nights on the trail, and you know, got to clear the head every once in a while, and that's what it was all about today. So just solo. I don't have anybody with me, and thinking of special people that I'd love to have with me right now, but not able to do that at this time. But glad that I got at least a little bit of opportunity to get out. So going to take advantage of it, getting ready to get breakfast and tear things down and hit the trail probably in the next 45 minutes or so. And let's see what happens. We'll talk to you in a bit. Well, I didn't have the time I usually take to prepare my camp food, so I didn't get to do my usual homemade meals, but Mountain House will work for this trip. So breakfast skillet from Mountain House, and they're normally, you know, they're tolerable. They're not awesome, but on the trail, when you're working hard, food just tastes pretty good, and when you're hungry, and I am, it's not bad. I usually, when I'm doing Mountain House meals, I usually do a little bit less water than what they recommend. Like this one recommended 10 ounces, I put 9 ounces in it, just because they tend to end up a little bit on the soupy side. And what I did seems just about perfect. It's, you know, it's a smooth consistency, and it smells good. And I've got a packet of hot sauce. Usually that makes them taste even better. So not bad. It rehydrated well. Eggs are still a little bit on the chewy side. I think I'm definitely going to go for some Cholula. I think that'll hit the spot. That's the beauty of Quick Trip hot sauce packets. And by the way, don't throw your garbage on the ground somewhere. Pack it out. Take it out. Take care of it. Leave the place nice for somebody else. Leave no trace, you know. And so let's mix up that Cholula. Usually hot sauce makes any meal that's meh taste pretty good. And so we'll find out if that's the case on this one. Definitely better. Definitely improves the flavor. So it's got eggs and potatoes and green and red peppers and sausage. And oh yeah, that Cholula, that made it. If I had to rate it on a scale of 10, I would have put it before the Cholula probably at about a 5. With the Cholula, probably brings it up to a 6.5 or 7. Definitely makes it better. So I'm going to enjoy my breakfast, finish my coffee, and then just about packed up. Just got to throw in the tarp, pack up all my food kit, and I'll be hitting the trail. So sun's coming up, and it's getting to be, let's see, what time are we now? Oh, 7:58. I wanted to hit the trail by 8. I'll be just a couple minutes behind that, but hey, I got time to make it happen. Let's go. Well, here we go. All packed up, loaded up, got everything. Checked the site. Had to make sure that I didn't leave anything, because I've done that before, and yeah, I really don't want to do that on this trip. Sun is up. It's a little later than I planned on getting started, but hey, I've got all day. And so here we are, getting ready to start off, starting up GPS track. And I calculated up, looks like I'm about a mile and a half in. And so I've got just over 10 miles to the end of the trail. And there's a bunch of other loops. So today's just about, what can I do? And let's see what time looks like and all that. So I am getting my GPS track started for the morning and started up. We are on Horse Thief Springs Trail coming down the, I've got quite a bit of down to go to start off. This one sorry, just getting it going there. So this trip I gotta find my way back to the path here, and I've got my pole sticking out in front of me because of my camera is attached to the hiking pole. So I gotta watch my step as well. But there are a couple ways you can do this trail. You can start, there is the north end is Cedar Lake, and it does a loop all the way around. And then the south end of the trail is up on Winding Stair Mountain, up right on the Talimena Scenic byway, Highway 1 I think it is. And so you can do the trail from either end, and basically you do a complete loop. So I like the parking area up on the Talimena Scenic Byway. And it's kind of a fun drive too, especially in the middle of the night or late at night, you know, when it's dark, like I was last night. So you could do this trail from either direction, and it basically forms a 12-mile loop. I think there's a little bit of a spur going to Cedar Lake, so if you started at Cedar Lake, it would be a little bit more than that. But that's at the bottom, this is at the top. So if you start at Cedar Lake, either direction you go, you ascend and then descend back to where you started. Going the direction I'm going, you descend and then you ascend at the end of the trail. So the other way, you do it the opposite. So I figured, let's try for the challenge. Descent and ascent both have their own little challenges. You know, ascent is harder on the muscles and the lungs. Descent is harder on the joints. And so I decided, hey, let's do the joint stuff at the beginning of the day, and I will finish the day with the hard muscle stuff and see how far we can go. So the plan is I would like to do at least 10 miles today. And hey, if I push it and decide I can do 12 or 15, I'd be happy, and I'd do that just for the sake of doing it. So let's see where things go, and I'll kind of shoot video along the way, give you an idea where I am, what's going on, and yeah, beautiful morning. The pine trees are simply amazing. I love this forest. This is just a beautiful area coming up on a, well, not really coming up on an overlook here, but I can kind of see through the trees, and it'd be real hard to see with the camera, so I won't even bother at the moment. But you can kind of see where everything is. It is cool though, this trail, not nearly as many spider webs on this trail as there was when I went with my daughters a couple weeks ago. Spiders were horrible on that trail, and whoever was leading got spiders in their face, and even if you were the second one in line, you still got spiders in your face. And I have not gotten nearly the number of spiders on this trail, so that's been kind of nice. And this part of it, as you can see, looks like it's been hiked. It's not real overgrown. Last night, the section of trail up on the ridge was pretty overgrown, and that was pretty crazy, trying to keep track of where the trail was in the dark with it being overgrown a little bit. This one down here, this is nice, and a good trail, not nearly as rocky, and so looking forward to it. Let's see how far we can go and just enjoy the trip. I don't get very often I get to go my pace and just do what I want, and so being alone today, I will take advantage of that and do my pace and see where it gets us. So yeah, gotta watch out for those rocks, obviously. Give myself a nice little underfoot massage there with a rock. So going downhill, so I'm gonna turn the camera off, use the trekking poles, and try to stay safe out here and just relax, enjoying the nice breeze and the beautiful day. So catch you guys on the flippity flip, as they say. So this is the cool thing about this trail. I don't know what it is, but I have seen a bunch of these guys. Let's see if you can see him. Has he disappeared? I bet if I make him move, you'll be able to see him, if you can't already. Let's see here. There you go, little guy. There you go. There you go. Yeah, go somewhere. They move fast too. I saw a bunch of them last night. There was one crawling on my what do you call it, my backpack. While I was setting up camp, there were like 3 of them that dropped out of the trees and were crawling around. I can't believe how many stick bugs I've seen, and they're all different colors, different looks. Pretty amazing. Some of them that more brown like that one was, some of them are more greenish, and pretty cool. Lots of bugs and stuff out here. So hoping to see a couple snakes, but yeah, they're tough to spot every, you know, but pretty cool stuff. And there's a butterfly. It wasn't a monarch, but it was kind of that orange. And there's another one. That is a monarch right there. There it is. Check it out. And there he goes. fluttering away, feeling like Cinderella walking through the forest. Hey, pretty amazing. Beautiful views. By the way, sorry about different camera resolutions here. I've got two different cameras going on just because of battery life and such, so I know it's going to switch back and forth. Some's better than the other, but hey, it's better to see it, right? You at least see where I am. So it looks like we're coming up to where the trail splits off again. It goes off to camp in one way, and I got to figure out which direction I need to go here. So it is to the right, I believe. Yeah, that looks correct. I better check my maps and verify that before I go too far. But there's kind of a split off here, and it looks like I actually need to go this way, and the split off will be right up here a ways. Yep, there it is. There is the trail. So marching along through the forest we go. Ah yes, back to the single track. Well, maybe not. That's what I thought, but oh well, double track will work just fine too. All right, back to hiking poles. And the sun cresting over the hill there is just gorgeous. I can see spider webs glinting off the sun way off in the distance, high up in the trees. Mown field with all the sun coming up over the trees. Sun probably makes it difficult to see back there. I know it does for me. At a spot where the trail intersects with a double track for a little while, and then it'll go back to the single track trail here in a little bit. Entering kind of a different section here. A lot of scrub. Looks like there's been a lot of fire damage here. Trees burned down, stuff short. Something. I don't know if that's fire or what. Yeah. The base of the trees are all burnt out, so it looks like fire to me. But it really cut things down in here. But look at how everything grows up right underneath it. You don't see this kind of short scrub in the main part of the forest because it just can't grow. But when you have a fire like this and trees fall, it opens everything up, and the young pines, they shoot up, and these guys grow pretty fast. Just kind of a different experience walking through this. Yeah, I'm breathing a little heavy. We're going uphill right now. So far this morning, I've done almost 1,000 feet of descent and about 350 feet of ascent. And now I am hitting an ascending portion. So I bet, thorn bush, I bet I'm going to be making up for, well, I bet, I know. I'm going to make up for all that descent I've done and get to breathe heavy. Look at all the sumac. Earlier in the season, that would make great tea, but not now. And then we start coming back into forest. Wow, look at that. Just gorgeous view of the ridge. That's where I was last night, probably right about in that little saddle there. Not at the top of the peak, but in the saddle. That's where I started. So I came down all along that ridge and back this way. Just a beautiful, beautiful view. And we start making our way back into the forest. Well, more scrub to walk through. And if there's poison ivy, let's just say I'm glad I'm wearing pants. Wow. Thorns all over. See if I can prevent my arms from getting scratched up. Oh yes, I love seeing cool stuff. That is an awesome tarantula. Check that out. And there he goes, sitting there nice and cool. Hey there, little guy. Hey there. That is an amazing little beast right there. Look at that. Hey, buddy. Yeah, say hello. Say hello to my little friend. See if we can get a good, so we need to cover it up there. There he goes. Check that out. Look at that face. A face a mother would love. Only a mother, right? Yeah, it's amazing. I am right now hiking along the side of Snake Mountain, just north of Cedar Lake. You can see over there the ridge that is the Winding Stair Mountain area. Just a gorgeous trail. I just came through back here. A lot of, not quite bushwhacking, but a lot of scrub and stuff, overgrown trail. I got a bunch of spiders in my face there. Yeah. Can't avoid them. I thought I was good. Last night there were hardly any. This morning there weren't very many at the beginning, but through that area I got my fair share of spiders in the face. Butterflies everywhere. Leaves starting to fall in spots. Fall is definitely in the air. It is warm, I'm pretty sweaty. Looking up there, that is going up to Snake Mountain. And if you can see the ridge there, the rocks, that is Snake Mountain. I believe it's like 1355 elevation. So it's not super tall. I mean, we are talking Oklahoma mountains here, and I think the highest point in Oklahoma is somewhere around 3,000 feet, if that. So, yeah, it's got to be 3,000, but it is beautiful. Yeah, the smell of pine straw in the air. You can still see some of the burn marks over here, but it's getting to be less affected. You know, you can see how that there's burn at the bottom of the trees, but as you go up into the tree, it's not nearly as bad. So looks like this was the edge of the burn area when that happened. Just gorgeous. Yeah, beautiful hiking right now. Enjoying it. It's like 9:15, 9:30, and I haven't even checked mileage. I don't know how far I've gone, but I've been hiking about an hour, so I'm guessing 2.5 miles, probably. Might be a little more or less. Maintaining a pretty decent pace. There's been some good uphill, which obviously slows you down. But so far I've seen a couple walking sticks, butterflies everywhere, one tarantula. That was pretty cool. He was pretty chill. If Enoch had been here, Enoch probably would have picked him up and had him crawling all over his hand. And I thought about it, but yeah, I'm just... I like looking at spiders, but they give me the EBGBs when we talk about picking them up. So I didn't pick him up, but he looked pretty chill. He probably would have been just fine. Stick out my hand, let him crawl around. And then I startled him and he flipped around and flipped up his backside, and his spinnerets or whatever came out, like he was saying, don't mess with me, or she, whoever it was. That was pretty cool. And just when I say the rocks aren't too bad, suddenly I'm all over rocks again. And there's a spider web in the hair. Yeah. Okay, where'd the trail go? Yeah, kind of overgrown a little bit right here. Hard to see it. I don't know if you can see that from there, but a little hard to see the trail here. And then it starts to clear out. And yeah, it's pretty gorgeous. Beautiful hiking. It's always fun when you're following the trail and you miss the sign and you end up taking the scenic route instead. I came up from this direction, somehow missed that sign and passed it because I saw the trail right there, so I kept following it, and there were blazes going up the trail. I was supposed to go down this way, but I didn't notice it, so I kept going because I knew I was kind of in the right direction. And so yeah, there it is. So back on trail. I took about a quarter-mile detour. That's all right. I got all day, right? Listen to the birds. Well, I'm on the south side of Snake Mountain, south of Cedar Lake, and heading back in the direction of that ridge and coming out over this, wow, just incredible. Love that view. And that wind in the face, oh, that feels so good right now. Heating up, back's all sweaty against my pack. Man, that breeze. Yeah, I need to be hiking, but I can't help but share all this. It's not the same watching it on video, I know, but man, I wish you could be here with me. Just amazing. Yeah, it's interesting hiking solo. You know, I don't mind it at all. I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that I can just move at my pace, and if I want to take a minute I can, and if I want to go I can, and if I want to go faster I can go however I want. There's also something about having somebody along with to share it with, and to chat with every once in a while. So yeah, I'll chat with you by video. That'll work too, right? Man, hiking along this ridge here, there's a fence here, and I'm not sure what this borders. I think it's a wildlife management area. And being that there's a double track trail there, that could make sense, you know, hiking trail being there, but I believe this is where I cross it. And I believe I keep going straight this way. Yep, there was the sign. So I'm kind of at a low point right now, and you can kind of hear it. It's amazing the difference in the sound between in the pine forest versus now where I'm in more of a poplar and elm, more of a deciduous forest rather than the evergreen, and you can hear the wind blowing through the leaves and blowing the leaves against each other in a way that you just don't hear up in the pine forest. Also beautiful. You know, if I have my preference, I like the pines. But this won't be much of the trip, and I will enjoy this section too. So just to show you what this is in the summer, and I know it's fall now, end of summer, but this would usually, during normal time, there would be water here, and there is no water. Now I have seen a little bit of a trickle coming off of Snake Mountain, that if I absolutely needed water, I could have gotten water there. Would have been tough, and wouldn't have gotten a lot, but I would have gotten enough to sustain if necessary. But that just shows you how dry it is out here. Makes me really glad for the decision to pack plenty of water, and I've got enough for the day, because I knew that there would be at least 1 or 2 points along the trail that I could get water if needed. So I have enough for the day for sure, so I'm not going to be short of water. But wow, yeah, there should be water in that, and there is nothing. But of course, beginning of October, we haven't had any rain yet, so there's been nothing to fill it up. Come first rains, that should start filling up once again, and then it'll be nice and wet for the winter. Hey, back into the pine forest. I like it. The pine straw beneath my feet feels so good. I think that Enoch would probably love this pine straw all beneath his feet. There's so much of it, and I think it would feel really good. But I'm not going to go barefoot and find out. Not today. I think it would feel like stepping on Legos if I happened to step on a pine cone, or, you know, those rocks in the middle. Yeah, there we go. Hey, hey! There's water! And you can see there's little bitty trickles. And so I think I'm going to, just for the sake of it, look at all those frogs all around everywhere. That's funny. And there's a nice wasp. So yeah, they apparently like the water. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to fill up my filter bottle anyway. Just so that I have it, so that I can say I did. Since we've got a nice clean pool over here, I might as well. My water bottle that I'm drinking out of is empty, so since we have plenty of it here, let's fill it up. I could use a little bit of a break anyway. Hey, check it out. There's little fish in there. I don't know if you can see them, but there are little fish flowing through this little pond, which tells me it's probably pretty clean water. So with the filter, it'll be great. Yeah, let me fill up. Well, that's a very odd tree right there. Makes you wonder how stuff like that happens, because I have no idea. How would a tree grow like that? And then from there, it is perfectly straight. I don't know. Just in the middle of nowhere. Pretty cool. Let's keep walking. I love good open trail like this. Heading mostly on an uphill, heading back toward Horse Thief Spring. I'm probably, I don't know, 3.5 miles away from Horse Thief. And I'm well ahead of what I had anticipated doing. So even though I got a late start, I've been moving. And so doing okay. I think I will probably do more miles today than I had originally planned, which is awesome. But this, instead of pine straw under my feet, there's a little bit, but it's a lot of leaves too. So it's kind of that mix here between deciduous and evergreen. Kind of a cool spot of trail. Well, been hiking all morning, and took a pack off break to get water at the creek, and I am halfway back up the mountain toward Horse Thief Spring. So basically I am going to get back to Horse Thief Spring by lunchtime, which I didn't plan on that. So I really am not ready to leave yet. So I'll take a little bit more of the loop and go down the Ouachita Trail a little bit. I've got a mileage number in mind beyond what I had originally planned. So it was kind of a maybe this, maybe that. That's okay, but getting a little tired coming up the hill. I haven't really taken a break to just sit down and relax for a minute, so I'm gonna stop. There was a nice rock right here, and I just happened to see the rock on the side of the trail, and so I said, that looks like a perfect spot to take off the pack, put on my sit pad for a few minutes, and just relax, drink some water, eat a handful or two of trail mix, and hit the trail again. So nice breeze, sun's shining, birds are singing, wind is blowing through the trees, and it's a perfect day to be out here. Enjoying the solitude, sort of. You know how that goes. But it is nice. So I'll enjoy the time I've got. See you in a bit. I was pulling my snacks out of my bag and forgot about the snack that I had. In honor of Evelyn, who loves Oreos, I knew she'd love those. And if she were with me, she'd be all about those. Double stuff. You know, half the time when I eat these, I pull off one side and eat the chocolate, and then I eat the side with the cream, and there's even more cream flavor, but double stuff are good. Good stuff. Well, that was a good little sit down break for about 15 minutes. Feel a little refreshed, ready to go again. I was just thinking how much Esther and Ezra would hate me if I made them do this. It's not super hard. I mean, I'm not feeling exhausted or anything, but it's challenging. And I've done a lot of miles this morning already, and at a pretty rapid pace. So now I wouldn't make them do this, but I need to get them in shape a little bit. Make them get them in shape so they can. You know, they'd enjoy it if they could. It's a lot of fun. Makes camping even more. Sorry, having to catch my breath coming up the hill. It makes camping so much more enjoyable when you've had to work to get there. And then the food tastes better. The water tastes amazing. The camp feels super comfortable. So, yeah. I'm not ready to set camp yet, but when I do, it will be well deserved, and I will enjoy it. Yeah, okay. Heavy breath. Maybe the trail's leveling out for a few minutes, and then it's gonna heart steading up again. Start heading up. Yeah, heavy breathing makes you say things funny. So, I'm gonna get back to it. Well, it's just before noon, and I made it out. Made it to the end. That's, honestly, I didn't think that was the way the day was going to go. I mean, I figured it would be early afternoon by the time I arrived, but I think I started hiking about 8:17, if I remember correctly, this morning. And I was about 1.5 miles into the trail. So I don't know exactly what I've done yet today, but I'll figure it out. But it's 10 till noon, and the truck is right up here. So made really good time. So I've got options. I don't know, we'll see what I'll do here. Might do some more hiking. I don't know. we shall see. It's a nice day. Well, that went by way too quickly. Made that entire loop this morning, and so I'm not ready to leave yet. So I'm gonna go do the south loop. This is, well, I'm not there yet. I'm walking down the road down to the trailhead again, but had a nice lunch. Ate an apple and a banana and a little bit of a Dr. Pepper. I don't like Dr. Pepper. A little bit of a root beer, about half of a root beer, and just didn't feel like the rest of it. It tasted good, but didn't feel like it, so water's plenty. But I'm gonna do part of the Billy Creek Trail that I did with Evelyn and Enoch and a bunch of other friends last year. And so probably not, I'm not doing the whole trail that we did last year, but I'm gonna do about 7 miles of it or so, and do that this afternoon and see where I get. I don't know, I might get froggy and just decide to do the whole thing, but I've got all day, right? So yeah, just relaxing, having fun, enjoying it, and I'll catch you up as I'm down the trail a little bit. It's always interesting to see the differences in forest. This side of the trail is a little bit different. You know, still got some of the pine, a lot of deciduous, a lot of leaves beneath my feet, and just the sounds of the forest. Well, before the sounds, the ferns. There are a lot of ferns on this side, which is interesting. You know, just that they weren't as numerous on the other side. It's not that there's really any more water. There are signs that there might be a little bit more moisture on this side of it, and the ferns would indicate that to me probably. But just interesting, the different look just as you move from side of one ridge to another. And then I just seen a couple more stick bugs. Man, I've seen probably 10 of them today, plus a couple last night. Seen a couple of blue-tailed skinks running along, and they're always cool to see. They're tough to catch, you know, and I don't want them to lose their tails unnecessarily because of me, so I don't chase them down. But they're pretty cool to see that blue tail kind of flip around through the underbrush, through the leaves. So they're kind of cool. But kind of a nice spot of trail along the side of the ridge. I am on the north side of Winding Stair Mountain, and so to the north out this direction would be Cedar Lake down there in the valley, and then above me to the south here is Scenic Route 1, Talimena Scenic Drive. And so really nice spot, just hiking along the ridge and coming close to where I'll diverge over to the Billy Creek Trail system, and probably have another, I don't know, 6 miles to go. So just trying to relax, clear my head a little bit. Too many thoughts still going through my head, but you know, can't stop all that. So we'll keep it up. While the motorcycles run by on the road up ahead, just had to take a picture of that. Thought that was pretty cool. Somebody built a nice little chair along the path. Little campfire ring there. Yeah, I like it. Very cool. Let me have a seat. I don't think it's quite as comfortable as it looks, especially wearing a backpack. But hey, there it is. Not too bad. Yeah, it'd actually be okay. If I wasn't wearing the pack and I could just put my sit pad there, be able to lean my back up against it. Yeah, it's nice. Let's carry on. Just thought I'd show this because it's poison ivy that's odd coloring that you don't see that often, where you can see how some of it's green and other bits of it are this reddish or more olive reddish green, kind of interesting. And there's some red right there. There's been a bunch of it right up this path. Headed down the north side of Billy Creek Trail, north side of Winding Stair Mountain, and it's a little bit more windy over here, which is really nice because I'm warm, so the wind cools me down a little bit. Heading downhill for a while. I took this direction just because I know that the If I went the other way, I'd have to come uphill. Well, there we go. I ran out of space and went and deleted some old videos and cleared up 159 minutes worth of space. I didn't think I had that much. Then I realized they'd all been recorded in 4K, and I don't need stuff recorded in 4K. So anyway, I'm hiking along the Billy Creek Trail. I hit it from the east side. When we hiked it last year, we started on the west side of it and hiked around the loop. I came over to the east side just because I know that there's a major uphill spot that we took last year that is really, really rocky. And I don't mind the uphill, but I didn't want to have to deal with the uphill so rocky. So I decided to go this way instead, where I'll go downhill on the rocky, and then I'll have at the end of the day, it'll be a pretty steep uphill, but it'll be on a trail like this that's covered in pine straw and a little bit of rocky, but not nearly as bad. So I just didn't feel like dealing with the rocks on the uphill as much. So coming around this way. Kind of nice over here. Smell of pine straw is in the air. Lots of poison ivy on the trail, but it's not quite as overgrown as parts on the other side. It looks like they've done some controlled burning over here, and apparently there's more of it scheduled. So that helps to keep the undergrowth down a little bit and keep the forest healthy. Yeah, you can see a lot of burn here, but it looks like good burn. And the trees are still healthy. Well, on the Billy Creek, and I know Evelyn and Enoch will recognize this when they see it. Yeah, pretty cool spot. This is one of the, probably the best overlook on the Billy Creek. It's not really known for its overlooks. It's more of a ATV kind of trail. Not so much a hiking trail, although it can be hiked and is. But there it is. Gorgeous spot. Beautiful overlook. And I think I have to take a picture here just because. Well, I'm on the home stretch. Sorry, I have a spider web in my face. It just got there right as I turned the camera on. Horrible, horrible, nasty spiders. So I'm on the home stretch. I've got about 2 miles to go, and it is mostly straight uphill. Right now I'm in a, it's not level, but it's not going uphill extreme. So I can almost breathe and talk for a minute. But yeah, the last half mile coming up a straight uphill was brutal. So we'll see. Hopefully I don't have too many more like that the rest of this stretch. I'm sure there will be another one or two. And then right before I get to the truck, I've got about 1/3 of a mile of mostly downhill to cool off and enjoy. But it's been good. A couple miles left, almost there. Let's finish this thing out. Woohoo! Made it! Holy cow. Yeah, that last 2 miles was brutal. I think I took more breaks there than I did the rest of the hike entirely. And I am at a little over 16.5 miles between last night and tonight, which means that today I did about, I believe, just over 15 miles, and I'll check those stats, but just over 15 miles, just pulled out, and I'm getting ready to walk across the street. And I don't know if you can see the truck there, but it's right across the street in the parking area, right over there somewhere. Maybe you can see it. Wow, I did it. That was crazy. And to reach here is exhilarating. It's just another one of those, don't give up, push, keep going. That's what we got to do. good trip. I'm gonna walk over here to the truck, wrap this up, and I had thought about staying here another night, but at this point, I don't need to. I did what I came to do. And so I'll talk about that when I pull up, and I'll probably actually put that at the beginning of the video. But it's been a good trip. I needed this. And good. Enjoyed it. Feels great. Wind feels great. Weather's beautiful. It's exhilarating. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.